To raise your vibration.
Is to be happy.
Understood. What I feel, and this ultimately comes down to the boiling of my question.
Yeah.
To raise my vibration.
To allow my vibration to raise.
To allow
I don't
my
have to
vibration.
raise. I don't have to raise it. It wants up, and the only reason it's not going up is because I'm holding it down. So to stop holding my vibration down, that's a better way to phrase that. To stop holding my vibration down. Do you hear the difference? Big distinction. You don't have to raise it up. It's naturally going up.
Got it.
Well, we just want to make sure.
Okay. Because I hear you and I believe you and I live this, that the path of least resistance, to just allow life to unfold in front of me.
Well, before you go further, you said something so important to this conversation. You received the thought. It was an inspiration. The path of least resistance is the perfect thing to insert into this conversation, because we want you to have this really clear picture that you've lived life, you created a vibrational version of this writing that is coming, of this full-fledged, the world receiving it writing that you have created. So it exists in this vortex, and we like to do this with Esther's arm. We like to indicate the synergy and the attraction power. We like to demonstrate the momentum of it, because we want you to feel how that is calling you, how it is calling you to the full realization of it. And that is the path of no resistance. Talk about least resistance. There's no resistance in that. So contradictory thought is you introducing resistance into this path that really could be resistance-free. The path of least resistance, it's just going with the flow. It's just letting yourself receive what you've already created. So the path of least resistance feels like ease, and it feels like fun, and it feels like satisfaction, and it feels like clarity. And so you can tell when you're on the path, and you can tell when you're not. You can tell when you're hindering it. It also is helpful to realize that the path is right at your feet all the time. It's not like you got to look for it and find it and go get on it somehow. It's right there. But what we want to convey to you, you're right there ready to hear us, is that the path is there, but if you can't see it, then it doesn't feel like it's right there. That's why you're looking over there for it. But in the right frequency, you realize the path is right there. So there's this constant feeling of right step, right step, right step, right step. You can feel so clearly when you're stepping right on this path, and you can feel when you're stepping off of it, or when you're stepping on a path that isn't your path too. You can feel by the clarity and the ease. And that is 100% of what your focus or emphasis is. Finding the path of least resistance, sniffing it out, feeling it, you say. So the other day, Esther was working on something that she's been working on for a while, really years. It involves someone that she cares about, and it involves some things that she has no control about. And she was trying to communicate with this person, and just the communication, just getting the texts to go back and forth, or the emails to go back and forth, and she just laughed and said to herself, clearly, every effort that I'm offering here is going to produce nothing, because this is out of whack at its vibrational basis. In other words, there's just no point in trying to buck a current, and there's every point into smoothing it out. So stepping back into a more general place always accomplishes that. Not trying so hard to make it manifest or make yourself realize it fully now. Just saying things softly to yourself, such as, this is clearly not the right time for this for me, and I'm clearly not in the right place for this, and I'll just approach this later. And then what will happen at a later time, at another time, when you are less resistant by virtue of whatever it is you are giving your attention to. Because the source within you knows who you are, knows what you want, knows where everything that you want is, will constantly give you an inspired inclination that will move you toward it, you see. So our message is, don't try to make anything happen, because in many cases you're trying to buck a current that you've created and you just can't get across it. You are looking for the path of least resistance, but it's an emotional path. It's a feeling path. Just say that to yourself just for a little while. Oh, eventually it will be a tangible path. It will be a pick up the telephone. It will be rendezvous with someone. It will be a tangible path. And that's bright and clear. We see it clearly. But you've got to find the emotional path first. And that's a path of non-resistance. And it feels really simple and easy. It calls you because of its good feeling. Everything that everyone wants, no matter what it is because they believe that there will be a good feeling at the end of it. You want the money, or you want the house, or you want the relationship, you want whatever it is, because you believe you will feel better in the having of it.
Correct.
So as you just show yourself that you can feel good now, feel good now, feel good now, because you have the power of focusing in exactly the same way that you tune yourself to begin. In other words, as the ideas drop into your lap, the emotion will drop into your lap. The inspiration for the next step will drop into your lap. And until, better word, unless it's dropping in your lap, you're not experiencing the path of least resistance. So there's an efforting that is involved that is counterproductive. There are people who would say to you, you shouldn't just sit around and be lazy and wait for things to happen. We say, yes, you should. Unless you want to do it really the hard way. But don't just sit around and be lazy in the sense of let your mind wander all over the place. Focus yourself on good feeling thoughts. But here's the thing. You don't have to find good feeling thoughts about the things that you've been feeling resistant about, because usually when you reach for good feeling thoughts about the things you've been feeling resistance about, you will find bad feeling thoughts. So find good feeling thoughts wherever you can find them. That's the key. Because you're not, in this phase of allowing, you're not still trying to create it. You're not trying to make it happen. You're not still trying to choose it. You're not still trying to decide it. It's done. It's a done deal. It's all hatched and it's been incubating. The gestation period is underway. It's ready to reveal itself to you. It is revealing itself to you. You're just not realizing the revelation because you're trying too hard to be too action-oriented in the receiving of it. That was good, and that was for all of you, no matter what it is you're working on.